everyone, we're here with Adam Warski, CTO of SoftwareMill. We've just got a few questions to ask him today. Hiya Adam.
Hello, thank you very much for the invitation.
That's all right, thank you so much for speaking at Scala in the City today. So just a few questions. Obviously you're the CTO of SoftwareMill. What was it that gave you the inspiration to start up SoftwareMill? And can you tell us a bit about SoftwareMill as a company as well?
Sure. So just to introduce the company really quickly. We are a custom software development company. So our main business is doing custom software for clients. Our main technologies of choice, my main languages, let's say, are obviously Scala. That's, I guess, part of the reason why I'm here. But we also, of course, use Java, JavaScript, and others as well. We also specialize in Kafka, Cassandra. We do both short-term consulting and longer-term projects. And going back to the question about the inspiration, well, that was kind of an accident, let's say. So 10 years ago, there was an EU-funded program for startups, for people who wanted to create startups. And we saw that, some really weird companies were created back then. And we thought, if they can do it, we can do it as well, right? And so we did. Our startup, of course, failed. But in the process, we ended up with a company and we started doing services. And we are doing it up until today. However, the real inspiration behind this, it wasn't me. I'm just the technical part. I guess the main driver was Tomek, who is the CEO of SoftwareMill currently. Well, it's 50 people, so you can say it's big, you can say it's small.
It's a big name in the Scala community anyway, yeah, big name in the Scala community. And
try to know our best.
No, definitely. And so obviously you've been using Scala. How long have you been using Scala for personally?
That's a good question. About 8 years, maybe.
And so have you seen quite a lot of changes in the Scala language since you've been working with it?
Well, not so much in the Scala language. Definitely there's been a change in the approach to how you write Scala code. So I guess, personally at least, I started doing Scala I was writing Java in Scala as a start. I guess that's quite common for a lot of people. But then I slowly transferred into other styles. So I had my episode where I was using a lot of actors, futures, and so on. And it's a very good stack. We use it quite often as well. But now I'm transferring more and more into, let's say, the more functional side. So using more lazy constructs like tasks, IOs. The library I was talking about today is also kind of the trend to move towards more functional, to move towards the more functional part of Scala than the object-oriented part of Scala. So it's not that the language evolved that much. I think the language stayed more or less the same throughout the years. It's more that the way people write Scala code really evolves, and there's a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of original research that's being done that actually helps you to evolve the style.
So when you're changing the way that you write the Scala and find out these new ideas, what's your best resource for finding things like that? Is it Twitter, or do you use GitHub? What is your best?
I definitely read way too much Twitter, yes.
I think everybody does.
Yeah. So I guess my main source is Twitter still. But also, I attend a couple of conferences each year, so that's a very good source. Just getting to know, on one hand, getting to know what's up in the community, let's say, what are the new ideas, what are the new frameworks, libraries, and so on. So getting first-hand information about them. On the other hand, meeting the people who actually wrote them and maybe talking to them and seeing how they approach different problems, how they understand the problems. So conferences are a good source, Twitter is a good source, and blogs as well. And finally, I guess the best is trying things out yourself. So just writing code. If it's a new approach, probably the first code you will write will be just experimental. It will go to trash, but that's how we learn. So.
And obviously, speaking at conferences, you do a lot of talks at different conferences throughout the year. What was it that got you into speaking at conferences?
I would probably like to say that I wanted to share knowledge and so on and so on. Well, that's of course true. I guess I was doing research on some topic. I wrote some. I guess my first talk was about an open source project I wrote. It was an extension to Hibernate. And I guess, it's probably I just wanted to show other people, so to brag in a way, right? So partly it is vanity, partly it is because I don't want to see the effort going to waste. So it's good to share what you have learned, right? It's the same about blogs and the same about conferences. So once you research a topic thoroughly, you spend 2-3 days, maybe a week, maybe a couple of months, sometimes writing an open source or exploring a subject. I think it's good to share that, and I use a lot of information from the internet, right? I read a lot of blogs, and that's people like me writing about their research. So in the same way, I write about mine. So.
And what conferences do we expect to see you at this year?
Well, the first one will be GeekOn. It's a conference in Krakow, Poland. It's a very nice conference. It's not Scala focused. It's JVM focused. So there's some Scala, there's some Java, there's some Kotlin. It has quite a long history. So I think more than 10 years already. So it's all in English if you'd like to come. So that's one of my favorite conferences, definitely. Then there's the Scala Days, the 10th anniversary Scala Days. There's Scala World in September, and that's it for now. I don't know my plans for autumn yet.
See how it goes.
See,
yeah. And one last question. So since your whole career as developing code and all that stuff, what is your most valued experience?
My most valuable experience? Well, I would again say that writing code is the most valuable thing you can do. Write a lot of code, experiment with various things, and sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. So a lot of code goes to trash, as I said, but that's fine. That's normal. So. But you shouldn't treat it as wasted time. It's always time that you invested in learning something new, right? So yeah, definitely the most valuable experience is just coding a lot and learning in the process.
Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you head over to our Scala in the City YouTube page and watch Adam's talk. Thank you.